Welcome to the show.
This guy got a mistletoe belt on.
Gosh, that is bad.
The whole plane smells like weed.
Those were the days. It's a joke, you idiot.
Looked in the mirror, I'm like,
Good old innocent fun. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Troublemakers. I'm your host, Dylan Krasinski, coming to you from a beautifully cloudy day in Astoria, Queens. Dude, it's rained every weekend for like the last 20 weekends.
75 days straight rain.
Is that what it is?
I think so. We had
Crazy.
2 or 3. I was just in Ohio. It rained every day.
With me, as always, this is the first time we've done an intro in a while, which is kind of fun. You know him, the fucking voice with the choice, Mr. Dominic Leonelli, baby.
Mr. Bad Posture himself.
Dude, you got nice posture. Don't worry.
People have been telling me.
I notice it when I look in the mirror. I got the hunch a little bit.
I do too. It's probably from sitting on these damn computers.
That's what it is, man.
Me, I'm in my phone. Give it up for my co-host, the newly famous. You're coming, man. You got to be micro famous now, right?
Dude, you know, just putting these videos up, try my best. Well, I'll tell you, if that one video, dude. Oh, we got to give a shout out, by the way. I told this kid, fuck, I got to look up his name. I'll find it. He's left comments, and I go, next time me and Dom do a solo episode, I'll shout you out, buddy.
Have you got recognized on the street
Then you hear
yet?
like, oh.
Recognized? No, dude.
You haven't got recognized yet?
No, but a couple
It's
like
coming.
friends who like don't ever interact with my Instagram have told me like, oh, I've been seeing you on my Discover page popping up on TikTok and Instagram, like some people I work with. So that's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah, 100%, man. So you'll start get recognized more and more. I guess it takes time. For me, I got lucky. It was 30 days after posting it wasn't even that big, but back then it was big. You remember? We were talking about outside of a comedy club we won't mention now because we don't play there. It's run by people causing problems. But no, we were talking about outside that club. Yeah, and you went viral before me, remember? It was like a couple of videos for the podcast went viral before I was even on it, I think.
Yeah.
And
you were
the
like,
just keep
pod,
posting. You were like, bro, just keep posting, you'll see. Maybe you were doing YouTube shorts then where you went viral.
I think we were just doing the pod clips mostly.
Pod clips, but you had a few that went viral and you were like, bro, just keep posting. And I think it was right around that window I just started posting. Like I was like a week into posting. And then I had 2 videos pretty much back to back in like a 3-day span go big. Like they each got like 3 million like within a day. And it was a lot of views for one day. And maybe it's because where I lived, I was in West Village. But
you tag West Village, geotag it, and it pops up.
Well, people know the park, Washington Square Park. I think they just recognize the park. And you know, I remember 30 days into it, I was getting recognized. It freaked me out.
Yeah, it's weird. I would love to get recognized on the street. You kidding me? That would be so fun.
You get used to it.
Used to it, dude. Oh yeah. Hey, Dom. Well, you've had, we talked about it last time. A comic who was like, Dom, and you were like, didn't recognize him. Thanks for the views. Thanks for being a fan.
Yeah, that's our buddy, Alex Pavone, actually. Yeah, shout out to Pavone.
What an asshole you are.
Pavone told this story, dude. He's the best story. He arguably, I think,
we got to get him on the pod.
Best storyteller
he said he would do it.
Yeah, and dude, so we're all around a bunch of Canadian comics, and he's telling me a story. And I talked to Michael Harrison about this. This is all in the open. It's funny. He made up some silly story about Michael Harrison and brisket, just messing with me.
Yeah.
But he's such a good storyteller, and he keeps going further and further with the story. And looking back, I had to ask Mike about it. I'm like, dude, so what happened with the brisket? Mike's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, dude, I heard a story that you had a tray of brisket. Now comedians in Ottawa like aren't allowed brisket. They're allowed to eat anything but brisket.
Oh, at the club? Like, you made up a story that Harrison...
Pavone had this story going. Pavone had this story for like a year with me. And every time he'd tell it, it would get better and better.
Dude.
He'd be like, he took a whole tray. The tray was like 3 feet long, and he took it up to his hotel room. I'm like, what?
Dude, that is one of my favorite types of pranks, is like a prank that is so innocent where you say something about someone and then you just like never tell them it's a prank.
Yeah.
And then when they find out, you're not even there. You know, we had, when we were in Boston, our buddy made up this story that like this comic shit his pants on stage. and like didn't tell anybody, just like told us.
Yeah.
And we were crying laughing, dude. We were like, this is so funny. This guy shit his pants on stage. And it's so unbelievable. But the way he told it, he was like, dude, it was crazy. It was not even funny. It was really sad. Like everyone was like concerned.
There's
dude.
little details.
And we were just like, this is insane. No fucking way. And then like forgot about it for months and then brought it up, and he was like, I never said that, dude. Don't be spreading that around, dude. The comic's gonna get back to him.
Now, do you always wonder if it was true and he's just denying it? Because I still somewhat believe the brisket story. We got to get Pavone on and find out the truth.
We'll bring it up.
There was like Nathan McIntosh. There was 4 other comics there. I think Aaron Berg was like, yes, something with the brisket. Like everybody was going in on the brisket.
So funny, dude. Yo, quick shout out. We got to shout this kid out. He's been hitting it up. He's a loyal supporter, loyal listener, watcher actually on YouTube. Zach Eckert, 5107. That's his YouTube. I don't know if that's his last name, but my man, Zachary, you are one of the OGs. He's been commenting for a while. We appreciate it, And to all you other loyal listeners, maybe ask for a shout out. We'll give you one. Hey,
give it
whatever.
up for Zach.
We love it, dude.
You, brother.
Thanks, man. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoy the shout out when you listen. He always listens at they go up at 1 a.m. He'll listen at 2 a.m. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing, Zach, but we appreciate the love.
Got that late night love.
Yeah, I love it.
So what's going on with the dating world with you? I know your confidence is up a little. I seen the viral Hinge story you got. You must have some struggles going on with Hinge to go viral like that.
Well, dude, can I tell you, it's so funny how when you post videos, sometimes I'll think oh, well, I got to make a video. What should I write about? What should I talk about?
Right.
And this one, I was just like, I didn't even think about it. And I go, it was 9 o'clock at night. I was like, I got to post one today. And I was like, I'll just talk about this. It was when the Knicks were in the Eastern Conference Finals, okay? I matched with this girl. Beautiful, model, good looking, so out of my league, okay?
Yeah.
And on her prompt, it goes, I will get along if you like the Knicks. Let's go to a Knicks game, okay? I liked her 2 months ago when the Knicks weren't even in the playoffs yet.
Yeah.
And then we match in the Eastern Conference Finals, and she was like, let's go to a Knicks game. We start talking, and she was like, I would love to go. We should go. First date, game 5. And I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. Do you have tickets? And she was like, no, but they're not that expensive. Dude, tickets to the Eastern Conference Finals, $600, $700, $800 a ticket.
And people are probably buying it for.
Yeah. So I go, well, no, but we could always go to the bar and watch. That would be a fun first date. Never responds. Doesn't respond.
Dude, yeah, too thirsty. First date, I'm going to spend $1,200 on you.
Plus beer, plus drinks.
Yeah.
So I end up talking to her right after, after they lose game 6. And I'm like, hey, how were the games? Did you end up watching, blah, 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 at a bar, I'm assuming. And she goes, I ended up going to all 3 home games for the Knicks. 3 different guys brought her on first dates to 3 Knicks games during the Eastern Conference Finals.
Now, what are you even doing talking to a girl that pretty?
Dude, I knew. I was a little drunk when we were talking, and she told me that, and I go, listen, I know your game. You're a beautiful woman. You're just scamming people. And she was like, no. I was like, how many of those guys are getting second dates? And she goes, well, 2 of them I wasn't into, and 1 of them I was into, but he wasn't into me. Dude, if I bring a girl, or if a girl brought me to some fancy-ass restaurant or a Knicks game, even if I didn't like her, I'll still go out on a second date with her.
Well, you can't say that because you don't know,
I probably
you got them in the inbox.
That's true.
You shouldn't have asked her how many guys went on a second date. You should have said, how many guys are lawyers that are doing this?
Probably a lot. It's probably big money.
Or tech guys. Those. You know who I feel bad for the most? I remember your buddy used to help them out too. Your buddy was a dating coach.
Oh yeah.
Those Indian tech dudes that make all that money.
Yeah.
And they just cannot get a girlfriend to save their life. I don't know what it is.
Dude, some of them are pretty smooth though. He would take them out, yeah. Some of them were super awkward, but then some of them he would get them. He would get them going, nice? Yeah.
How long do you think it took him to just get them nice?
Dude, when I would go, because he would bring me out sometimes, we'd go to a bar, and he'd be like, okay, I'll do to you what I do for these guys. And it's so simple. It's just having a friend there to be to push you, to be like, hey, there's 3 girls in a group over there. Go talk to them.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, if you're by yourself, you're like, I'm not going to. But he just gives you and sometimes he'll be like, hey, open with this. And then it's just having a conversation. It's not like this magical thing we build up in our heads of being like, I'm going to talk to this girl and maybe we'll get married. Maybe we'll hook up, blah, blah, blah. He goes, just, you might not like this girl.
Right.
Think about it that way.
It's like, just pretend that she's a human.
Yeah. Pretend you have zero interest in her and just talk to her.
When I figured that out with dating, it was the easiest thing in the world. When you just pretend that you're talking to, just a regular girl on the street, like nothing's wrong. I think when like you don't even not even interested in her, then you'll just be yourself because you don't know if you're interested in her.
Well, that's what they say when you have like a girlfriend. That's when most women are interested in you because you're not showing them any interest. Yeah, and they like can feel it.
And dude, I got it coming out of the woodwork right now. I recently
we got to tell you, dude.
Yeah. So I did the Hinge thing.
Oh, you brought it up right before, and I go, let's save it, baby.
And the thing with Hinge that I feel like it's a pain in the butt. It's like I'm messaging with these girls back and forth. They want to do a dinner. And here's the thing. It's like, I don't know if I like you. I was like, can we do a FaceTime? And the girl's like, I don't give people my phone number that I haven't met. And then she tells me, she goes, we could FaceTime on Snapchat. And I put like LOL, like, why are you on Snapchat?
Who has Snapchat?
Like, I have one, but I never use it. I'm like, I don't not even FaceTime on Snap. I'm like, look, if we're going to go on a date and you can't even give me your phone number, this is just weird. Like, I'm like, we can't FaceTime with each other's phone numbers. It's just weird. Like, so I had that with one. And then another girl, it was always like miscommunication. And one girl was like starting arguments with me in the comments I'm like, look, let's go meet at a park and see if we like each other. We can meet at Central Park. If we don't like each other, so what? We walk our separate ways. We're both in the park. Yeah. I'm not taking a girl to dinner on a first date.
No, like, I will do drinks. I just matched. I was talking to this one girl who's very cute, very cool, fun. And I was like, we should go get drinks. And I can always tell how they respond to that. If they're going to be cool or not. Right. It's just like...
Well, the drinks is like they might be trying to move it a little quicker than normal.
Well, just like one or two drinks. It's like having a coffee, but at least like one drink, two drinks, people become themselves.
It opens up the door a little quicker though.
Sure. But people become themselves. They kind of can get comfortable, talk. And I get that some people don't like that because they, I guess, hey, listen, some women, they're like, if I have two drinks, I'll be taking you home. And you're like, hey, that's not my problem.
That's what are we doing?
I'm sorry that you have no self-control, but, I'm a virgin and I'll keep that till marriage, But this one girl was like, I was like, let's get a drink. She was like, that sounds great, but I only go out with guys who are very intentional about planning a memorable first date. And I'm like, memorable? What do we got to do? What do I got to take you to the World Trade Center Memorial and we go to the top and like then get dinner after? Like that's what I would do for a girlfriend. Like once I already like you, you know?
Once I see that you're even worth it. Yeah. I mean, dude, I've had so many. The reason I don't do dinner dates is because I had so many bad ones. Like it's like, well, I'm gonna drop $200. If the girl's sitting down, we're gonna do an appetizer. I'm gonna have the fish, and let me get a double martini dirty. It's like, okay, you just went through $100. I'm over here. You know what I just did too, dude? And I'll get to the Hinge date thing. I sneakingly ended up going on a throuple date. I didn't realize.
Come on, what the fuck? What do you mean?
So I was out with some friends. I thought they were just friends. She goes, hey, I got a mutual friend that knows you. They're going to meet us. So I'm like, okay.
Two girls or a girl and a guy?
No, it was a girl and a guy. I didn't know that at the time.
Trouble, dude.
And this girl, I wasn't looking at her as like an object because like I said, I got a girlfriend, but I was
That's good that you're not looking at women as objects, Tom. Yeah. You've come so far, dude.
I have. I got a girlfriend now. You got to respect these ladies. And so either way, we end up going out to eat. And we go to this, it was a little bit nicer restaurant. And I was like, I know they got options there. So I was like, I'm going with the cheapest thing. I went with a fucking cheeseburger and fries. Little kid meal, $18 meal, right? The one orders the steak, one orders the fucking salmon. And then they're ordering drinks and multiple drinks. I had one beer, one burger, one fry. $24 bill. Yeah. I'll leave a $6 tip, $30. We had a good time. Yeah. Bill comes, $243. They're like, so are we going to split this 3 ways? I'm like, I got cash on me. I had all 20s. And we're divvying it up. And I'm like, I'm not about to spend $40 on this thing. I had a cheeseburger and fries. Yeah. I didn't even get the cheese.
At most, dude, like cheeseburger, fries, and a beer, plus tax, plus tip, you're looking at like $30 $35.
Yeah, and that's being
Right.
real giving at 35.
That's being very generous.
I end up having to get change from the waiter. It's a big ordeal. I'm trying to get change from the girl. I think she accidentally took my change for the 20 twice. So I'm like, I wasn't counting the 20s. I really don't think she did it on purpose. We were drinking or whatever. So I'm like, all right, so I just lost 20 just now. So now I'm not about to spend more than fucking $70 here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, I put down the 30. I think I put down like $33 and on top of the 20 that I accidentally gave her, because I made the mistake. I'm like, I already gave you the 20 for change, right? And she's like, no. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, she pocketed that.
You know what's
dude.
funny? Right before she said that, she was like, I steal all the time. I'm not even joking.
Oh, buddy.
And then I realized as we were eating dinner that I realized they were maybe a thing, and then the bill comes and they're like, let's just split it 3 ways. I'm like, what? No. It was like $240.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fine splitting it. That's one of my, not a pet peeve, but something that annoys me when you go out to dinner with like even friends.
Yeah.
Friends, like 4 of you get drinks. If everyone's drinking, everyone's like eating, we all get a meal, and like I have no problem like if something's like $10, if I get something $10 more, or someone else, if you buy something that's $30 and I buy something that's 20 and we each get a drink, I'm like, yeah, let's just split it down the middle. That's fine.
I think
I'm not going to
30
nickel and
and 20.
dime, dude. But like if we go out, I get a burger and a soda and you have like 4 drinks and a meal.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's split it. I'm like, no, dude, I owe like $20. You owe like 80.
Right.
We're not splitting it down the middle. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, dude.
I think people know they wait for you to order first. That's when you could tell. Like
Yeah.
even girls, they'll wait to see, they'll let you order first, then they go big. But either way, so none of the Hinge dates actually worked out, partly because I ended up getting a girlfriend right away. Like, so I was doing sets in the city now.
Yeah.
So I noticed this really cute girl, like she stood out, blonde, beautiful body, like, and I noticed blue eyes, and I'm like, well, this girl, like I noticed her the second time. I'm like, I talked to this girl 2 nights ago. I know I did. I'm not tripping. So I was at Greenwich, and afterwards I'm looking at her. I'm like, where you at? She goes, yeah, I seen your Paris show last week. I'm like, oh shit.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, bet. So she DMs me. I had to leave. Greenwich is small. You don't really hang out there. I did my spot. I left. And then I get a DM the next day. Hey, I'm just shooting my shot. I seen you twice. You're really cute. Do you want to hang out? I was like, let's do it. And we hung out like 4 or 5 times, maybe like 7 or 8 times, and then started dating right after the Hinge app episode.
I gotta say, dude, you get girlfriends so quickly.
I do.
You fall into dude, I've dated girls for like a year and they haven't been my girlfriend. Like I feel like I really need to like be like, consider, is this person someone I want to spend a significant amount of time before I am like, this is my girlfriend.
Well, a lot of mistakes I made in the past with girls was I wouldn't have the talk like, hey, are we seeing each other exclusively?
Yeah.
And that's respectful to girls. When you do that, they like that.
I agree.
So, me and her hung out like 7 or 8 times, and we were hanging out a lot. We're kissing, we're doing all this stuff. So
Ooh,
I asked
kissing.
her, I was like, hey, are we seeing each other exclusively? Because, and I don't want to be out. I want to know. I don't want to be with a girl that's with everybody.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, just because we're dating, we're not married. Like, we'll see.
Amen.
Hey, maybe it won't work out. Maybe it will. We already had a couple little arguments. I get a little jealous. I was an asshole. Some alcohol gets involved. That's why I don't like alcohol on the first dates, honestly.
Sure.
Because then it's like you're not really getting to know the person. You're getting to know the alcohol person.
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah.
the realest person of them all.
That's true, dude. That's what you gotta hide yourself for that
Yeah.
first date, You gotta be a little hidden.
Yeah.
But that's so funny, dude. I gotta say, did you put that hashtag mahogany
Yeah, I did.
on the prompt?
Nobody liked it. The thing that got me the love was my voice.
Oh, that's
Yep.
good, dude.
Girls were into the voice.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got inboxes. I did a couple cameos off my voice on the app.
Really?
Yeah, girls were like, can you just say my name like in a cameo?
My God, what are they doing with that? Just like touching themselves.
Well, one girl posted on TikTok. Wait till
Whoa.
my lady finds out. No, I deleted the apps.
Good.
We
Good
had
for
the
you,
talk.
buddy.
We're seeing each other exclusively. I get jealous. I don't know if my girl's being completely honest or not, or what she's doing. I shot a sketch with some girls where I have a nice butt in the sketch.
Yeah.
And I was telling her about it, and we go to the bar last night, and now all of a sudden she starts bringing up her friend that she's known for 15 years. She's like saying all the red flags. He's like my brother.
Oh, boy.
We would never do anything.
Oh, boy.
Bro, you know what I did? I
What?
just sat there and just looked at my drink, didn't even say shit. She's like, I'll bring him to your show. I didn't even respond. I'm just sat there. I think she caught the hint, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, the thing is you can't really go through their phones immediately and look like a psycho. But I do feel like my lady might have a little something up her sleeve.
Oh my God, Tom! I don't even know where to go with this because I feel like you. How long have you been with this person?
Well, our third time hanging out from when we were dating, I told her, hey, I'm doing a lot of spots. It's Saturday night. I'm like, I'm running around the city. And she goes, oh, my friend might come. He's gay. He's a good time. I'm hanging with him anyway. I said, well, here's the thing. I can't bring him because I have like 5 spots. We're running in and out of clubs.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a hangout. You're my girlfriend. That I get a slide every now and then on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Comedy clubs get it. Like, oh, yeah, you're going to bring your lady sometimes. I'm not hosting, you know. So I just had spots. So she misses the first spot. I'm like, all right, no big deal. Misses the second spot. So I'm meeting her for the third spot where I have no time. I'm like, you know, and I told her friend can't come. I'm like, where are you? She's like, I'm on the corner. So bro, I'm standing on the corner. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the corner too. I was like, where are you at? She's like, I'm in a bar. I'm like, what? I was like, you're supposed to meet me at the corner. She's like, oh, yeah, my buddy wanted to get a drink. I'm like, who? She's like, yeah, I brought somebody. I'm like, babe, we got to go. Like,
Yeah, I got to get on stage.
Yeah, so I go do my spot. I come back out, and I have to run downtown. So I'm like, hey, where are you at? And finally, she can't figure out the bar. She's like, I don't know the name of the bar.
Oh, my God.
Her friends all yelling. Then I meet the guy. And I'm like, babe, I told you your friend can't come.
Yeah.
He's like, I know all about you. I know all about your dick. For real. He's telling, I see your dick. He says, I know what makes you come. I'm like, babe, what are you doing over here?
Holy
He's
shit.
like, I'll come to the bar. And she hangs out with him like every day, this dude. But I'm just like, babe, you can't be. What do you mean he knows what makes me come? Like, I'm like, what? Why would you even say that to somebody?
Oh, buddy.
He's like,
Jeez.
I seen your dick.
You know what? I think this is good, man. This is a good. It sounds like it's a good relationship. You know, a month in, girlfriend already fighting a little bit. You know, that's positive. I don't know, man. Yeah, dude, I gotta really know someone and like someone before. If I'm gonna call someone my girlfriend and be in a relationship, that means like I'm bringing them to family events. Like they're gonna meet my family. I'm gonna like introduce that. Like if you have a +1 to a wedding, they're coming to a wedding. You know,
Well, how
like
do you
that kind of
wait
stuff.
that long? How do you wait 3
You can
months
date-
to tell her if you're dating?
Well, you could date someone, see them exclusively, and be like, we're dating exclusively. But like, girlfriend is like a
the
big
same
step.
thing, I think.
I think the difference is like you could be dating someone exclusively, but not introducing them to like your friends, not introducing them to your family.
But what if she's super hot?
I mean, yeah, you could do that. I'm just saying that's the difference. Is like I could date someone exclusively, but like I'm not intermingling them in my world yet.
Yeah, I show my girl off. It's
Until
that
until I really know, like, oh, I like this person. I think I want them to be around for a while. I want to date them. And assuming they feel the same way, then I'll be like, do you want to, you know, are we like boyfriend, girlfriend? I don't even know how to do it.
Well, you know,
so gay.
I think it makes a difference. Like my girlfriend is a 34 double D, so you're kind of like, yeah, that's my girlfriend right there.
Oh, buddy.
You see that girl with the nice ass? That's who I'm
my
dating,
God.
by the way.
You got pictures?
Yeah, I could show you.
Yeah, show me after.
I could show you. She does some pole dancing. She teaches pole dancing.
Oh, dude, it's just
She's a Pilates instructor.
Every person listening is just like, I imagine want to be in my seat right now and give you advice. I'm just,
I
the
get
amount
jealous.
of red flags that I've ticked from you and her already is crazy.
She's a trainer, and she'll tell me, she'll be like, you know, I have to touch my clients. It's very professional. It's what I do. I stretch them out. She's like, you know, I touch men and women all day.
Sometimes they get chubbed up and there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. Every now and then when you go out of town, I don't answer my phone, but it is what it is.
Here's the thing, dude. You got to get past the jealousy.
I do. It's not her fault.
Because it's you.
It's
you.
It's me.
Dude, it's jealousy is your own, and I'm not saying you, but I'm
you're
saying
right.
it's your own insecurities.
Disgusting brother.
Jealousy is your own insecurities rearing its head. And
It
it's
is.
never pretty. And
It
it's
never
ugly.
is.
I always have the mindset of like, I'm going to trust someone until I don't. You know, like if you're with someone and they're hanging out with you, until they give you a reason to be like, and you can tell internally, you know, you can tell in your gut when something is off, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, something doesn't feel right about this. And then you can bring something up and be like, oh, what'd you do last night? How come I didn't hear from you? Like, I texted you, you never texted me back. Well, what's up?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, until like you get that gut feeling, I think it's just unhealthy. Because what are you gonna do? You're racking your brain for like things that are probably not happening. But if you feel like it is, maybe it is.
Yeah, and that's the problem. And you know, who knows? It probably isn't happening. My thing is, here's where I get when I start getting jealous, when I start thinking STDs, or when I cheat myself.
Oh boy! See, there it is. There it is, dude. That's why you're jealous, is because you're looking at your behavior and you're like, well, I do it.
Yeah, well, I did it 5 minutes ago with that, with that girl at Arby's. No, I haven't. But with her, I'm definitely trying to keep it right. I know it.
Keep it right,
we'll
keep it
see
tight.
what happens. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. But so yeah, man, new relationship. It's like 3 weeks in. Very time consuming to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I want to hurry up and get famous. And it's like, oh, you lose 18 hours hanging out with your girlfriend.
Yeah, dude.
Not really losing 18 hours, but it's like, I wish she could record me all day, you know, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a nice
well,
balance.
dude, I mean, that's a big thing. That like is crazy too. Like if I'm dating someone, I don't want to I'll bring them to a show. But if I have multiple spots, I'm gonna be like, hey, even if we plan to meet up after, like, hey, I got 3 spots, and then I'll come meet you at the bar that you're out at.
Yeah.
You know, instead of being like, because it's not fun for them
No,
to
it's
run
not.
around the city and then stand in the back of a bar.
And Friday, Saturday is like her nights off, and it's my nights working though. Like I have spots from 7:30 till 1:30 in the morning. You know,
Yeah.
it's like our Fridays and Saturdays are cooked. That's the hardest thing about being in a relationship, when she works Monday through Wednesday real heavy, and I work Wednesday through Saturday real heavy. So we have Sundays.
Yeah.
And I'm such a greedy dude on Sundays. I'm trying to shoot. I'm trying to do more spots.
Instead of relaxing.
Right.
Yeah, I hear you.
I just went back to Ohio to see the family. I took a weekend off.
Yeah,
dude.
how was that, dude?
It was about 19 hours on a Greyhound bus next to an obese person.
Buddy.
And I had the wheel tub seat. I'm like, this is something with traveling, and I never want to be mean. But I told you there was that one flight I should have got kicked off on, but I didn't because I dealt with it. But one time I was on a flight in between 2 very obese women. Like,
yeah.
And there was the only seat left on the whole, and it's the back seat where the seats don't recline, like the very last seat. So when the other girl came, I couldn't sit down anymore. I didn't fit in the seat no more because they couldn't eat. They both spilled over.
Yeah, so you got to put the arms down and go, sorry, arms are going down,
even
baby.
with the arms down, bro, they had that meat on the side that went 6-7 inches. So I had to turn like this. So I couldn't put my seatbelt on. They were pressed against me both sides, right? So the lady goes, if you can't sit back straight, we have to take you off the plane. The flight attendant, I said, lady, hold on a second. I said, I can't.
I'm not the problem.
Yeah,
here.
I was like, there's nothing I could do. So she ended up telling the one girl, she goes, look, you guys got to figure it out, or he's got to get off the flight. And I'm like, what can we do? And they were like trying their best to move.
Oh my
but they couldn't. She's like, you can't block the aisle, ma'am. Like she was blocking the aisle. Dude, I'm not exaggerating.
Why didn't they pull one of them off?
I guess they don't want to catch the heat. So what I had
Too fat to fly, baby.
Bro, I had to take the whole flight. It was a quick flight, 3 hours from Miami. I had to have it completely turned like this.
That's still not a quick flight.
Yeah.
3 hours to
Well,
be
for me,
uncomfortable
yeah.
like that.
I mean, I've dealt with like 16-hour flights, but I remember being like, yo, that was one case where, you know, they just didn't want to take the heat. Same thing with Greyhound bus. There's no other seats left. I'm looking like at this dude, like, buddy, I told him, I was like, you have to buy 2 seats. He don't even know English. He was way bigger. The armrest we couldn't put the armrest down. Oh, yeah. He was like, because the armrest on Greyhound don't go up and down on the end. So the dude had to sit on my seat. So I was literally standing like this the whole bus ride up against the wall. Dom. It's like, what are we doing here?
Why you take it? Why don't you just fly? You got the money.
Nobody will pick me up from the airport. It's so hard to get my brother. Here's the thing. My brother would come pick me up.
Dude, or just Uber from the airport.
$200 Uber ride.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. But, yeah, dude, my brother would pick me up. He doesn't have windshield wipers because he's got tint on his car. It's like limousine tint, and he won't take it off, so he puts his windows down so he doesn't get pulled over, and so he could see. You can't even see out of the tent. That's how dark it is. So when it's raining, his windows are down, so it caused his windshield wipers to short out, So now he's got a sponge he stole from like a gas station, and he uses it as a windshield wiper. So it's like I can't have him pick me up in Pittsburgh with like that, I did it once. Oh. Dude, we're driving, rain's pouring in the car.
Ohio, Pittsburgh's the closest airport to you.
Yeah, we got Ravenna Airport. There's never any flights, and when there is, there's so much money.
Yeah.
And this bus ticket was last minute, but when you add in, the bus station's right by my house, 2 blocks away.
Sure.
So when you add in, by the time I could go to the airport, like take 2.5 hours or whatever and get to the airport, wait at the airport for 3 hours, get on the flight and take an hour flight, and then land in Pittsburgh and then get a ride that's an hour and a half long. Or, or I could just hop on the bus and try to go to sleep for 19 hours. These buses, it took me everywhere. Like, the way the Greyhound runs now, it's like, you're going Rochester, Syracuse, Buffalo. I went everywhere before I even ended up in Pittsburgh. And they're so quick. Bro, it's crazy to me. If we had a car, you know how fast you could be? You have a car.
Yeah.
You know how quick you could be in Rochester and Buffalo, Syracuse?
Quick.
All those
couple
places
hours.
are nothing.
Yeah, 5 hours,
What's
6 hours.
What's the one? Rutherford's like 35 minutes from the city.
Yeah. New Jersey, Rutherford.
Yeah. What is that? Like 35 minutes from Times Square. Like if a road comic wanted to, you really don't need to drive more than 2 hours and you can make a living.
I know. It's
crazy.
true, dude. You can. You go
maybe
from
Boston
Philly,
would be the longest one. Philly, Boston,
Philly to
Connecticut.
Boston and everything in between. You could do a lot of work.
Bro, a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 4 or 5 rooms in Long Island alone.
I know. Dude, yeah. It's crazy how much road work you could do.
What's the tickets looking like?
What do you mean?
You got to post a picture of your car on Hinge. The Audi.
Dude, me shirtless sit on the hood.
Nah, I would say you holding your lawyer thing.
Are you just holding the book? Holding the Black's Law Dictionary?
Yeah. The certificate that you put behind your office. Dude. Are you in court something?
Yeah. I've been on TV.
Or you shooting up Ozempic and say, what are you doing in 2 months?
Dude, that's what I should do, is just a video of me shooting myself with Zepbound and being like, I'm a buy low, sell high kind of guy. This is an investment. Get me now before I get a 6-pack, because then I'm going to be very picky.
Can you imagine how many girls, they wouldn't want you to be skinny. They'd want the Ozempic from you.
Yeah, I know.
They'd be hitting you up like, yo, let me just get a little taste.
Let me get a taste, dude.
Yeah, get a little.
Give me half.
A little, Dad.
Give me half.
Yeah, you can get them all out there.
Yeah.
You can have every girl, bro. If you went to Ohio with that Zempi,
yeah,
bro, it's game over.
Got some big ladies up there.
For the hell of it, me and my friend, and I was nervous. I was like, my girlfriend's going to see me scrolling on the dating app. He's like, yeah, but it's better than my wife seeing me. I got kids.
Buddy.
He wanted to see the difference between scrolling on Hinge in New York and scrolling on Hinge in Ohio. Bro, this shit is crazy. Like, if you ever look, it's just
dude,
kids
you can
everywhere.
change. You can change your location.
Yeah, you could just scroll to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Dude, those girls look like they got full kindergarten classes in their house. Like, I got 5 kids, so you know what that means. Like,
yeah, what are we building a basketball team here? 5 kids, 5 different daddies.
Yeah, get them all a paper route and we'll retire, baby.
Dude, you know what I've been seeing on Hinge recently? I keep I keep matching because I'll hit I'll like a lot of people. I'll like most people. And then if I get a match, then I'll look, oh, do I want to talk to this person? If I don't, I unmatch, you know? But I've been matching with a bunch of women who are from Africa, who live in Africa. And then you look at their profile and they're just there will be a note at the bottom that's like, I live in Africa, but I'm looking to make friends in a long distance type of relation. And I'm like, what do you want me to send you $5,000 next?
Yeah,
that's what it's coming
up. They're finding those Indian dudes that your friend's helping out. They put NYC in
I'll fly you. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll
they
actually put NYC.
Yeah. And then in their note, it'll
Zimbabwe.
be like, I live in Uganda or I live in Zimbabwe. And you're like, why? What are you doing?
Bro, you ever mess around with any girls from Africa?
No. Why?
Maybe the cruise ships I did, they're lovely women. I mean, they are good wife material.
Like someone who was born and like lives in Africa.
Yeah,
No.
like in Zimbabwe. They'll show you fucking zebras in their backyard and shit.
Pretty
Africa's
cool.
beautiful.
That's cool as hell.
And then, they're just wife-type people. They'll cook for you. They rub your feet,
That trad wife.
until you marry them. But yeah, I've talked to a few on the ships. Not like dating-wise, but I could see why they'd be great wives.
Yeah, that trad wife. You know that?
Yeah,
that,
dude, they're
traditional wives.
Yeah,
wives.
they really are.
Yeah, that's like
They
the
cook for you.
social media trend right now is like the way that everyone's like, I'm young and independent, feminist, and then like the new trend is trad wife. So it's like people who live on a compound on like a farm, and they're like, I'm making my own butter.
Yeah,
and,
I see
I'm
that.
main
and
pies.
then they have an RV somewhere or something.
Yeah, and then you find out that it's like actually they got like 3 or 4 social media team members who are like filming them, helping them cook, helping them raise the kids.
Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say about them trad wives, but
It's kind of
good
nice.
Wives, yeah.
It's kind of nice. You're not going to find any in New York.
I'll tell you what
know.
I found out. Anybody that's really religious, anybody with very strong religious backgrounds, most of the time is a good person. Like they're a good wife.
Yeah.
They don't really cheat. Like those girls from India that like, everything's like a sin to them, or like the girls from Africa, they're totally different. Like just they speak all correctly and properly, They don't swear, they talk about nice things.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I got you, dude. Yeah.
I got some nice feet on them.
Are you a feet guy?
No, well, if the girl's from Africa,
I don't even know what that means.
them
dude.
African women they take care of their feet.
They got nice feet?
Well, they
Yeah.
take care of their feet. Girls from India take care of their feet.
Okay.
It's not really an Ohio thing. The feet are like the last thing somebody's
You
looking
never
at.
even consider it.
Yeah, it's more about like they're looking at that big gulp from 7-Eleven.
Yeah, girl in Ohio, she don't even take her socks off
Yeah.
once a week.
Well, she's got a Looney Tunes shirt. You're looking at that more.
You got white socks that are black on the
Sitting
bottom
on the
from
front
walking
porch,
around. Dirty
smoking
socks.
a cigarette
dude.
all day. Kids just playing. Can you imagine if that was your life? A little small 2-bedroom, a dog. You got a minivan. You got some wife outside doesn't take care of herself no more. Always pissed off.
I mean, that sounded nice until you talked about the out of shape,
Yeah.
angry wife.
Well, I didn't mention out of shape. but
You said doesn't take care of herself.
Well,
I
maybe
assume
the
out of
teeth are
shape.
messed up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah.
She just sits on the front porch. God, sit in the damn yard. And she just
Got into a fight around the corner. Knocked the tooth
complaining,
out.
arguing about your cousins. They ain't coming over here no more.
How was being home? How was
It's
once
pretty much
you
that.
actually got there? That's just a reenactment of what happened.
No, that was more. I remember my friend's mom was like that, but back home was a good time, man. I had fun. It's weird. I'm New Yorkanized, so I can't. I look at these houses where, it's almost like slightly like this. These are like houses, and the neighbors are close. But in Ohio, it's just really right there. These little houses.
Yeah.
It's just like, man, all these little houses next to each other. I just don't see it. It doesn't even feel comfortable to me.
Yeah.
To see that type of life.
Here, it makes sense because it's like such a compact area. But like in Ohio, you have the space.
Right.
And
have you seen those places like when you travel to where it's just like you have to know your neighbor and see them all the time every day? They're cutting their grass. I'm
like
sure Long
where I grew
Island's
up,
like
dude.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I grew up like that too, but I guess I've been in New York hardcore in these buildings. Like I've been in apartment buildings for 13 years. It's weird to me. And the other thing is like people could just walk up to your house, throw a block through your window and kill you. Like in those,
Sure.
You're not having that in
they could-
New York.
Yeah. If you
Man,
live
did you
on the
see-
high enough floor. What?
Bro, right before I left, 2 people got shot. One got shot right by my house in the head. They had to close off 42nd Street.
What was it? Like
they don't know.
gang thing or just a
I
random?
don't know, but the dude got shot. I want to say, I got to reread it. Got shot in the head at an urgent care.
Holy crap.
Yeah, in front of an urgent care.
Whoa.
Yeah, and they had to send him to a regular hospital. The people at urgent care were like, I hope, hey, we can't do nothing.
What do you do? What are you coming in here for,
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
Oh, we could give you an ace bandage. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Dude got shot in his head, died like 2 hours later.
Oh, my God.
And somebody got shot on 23rd Street.
God damn, dude.
When they stopped, I don't know what it was, dude. When I first moved to New York 13 years ago, it was so much safer, I'm telling you. I couldn't, dude, you'd get in trouble for, I'd almost want to say littering. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
If you spit on the sidewalk, a cop might stop you and give you a ticket.
Hey, you can't spit there.
Bro, I got in trouble one time. I got arrested one time in New York for having a rap. A girl gave me this. I was walking dogs. I think we talked about it on the pod. she smoked a little bit of a blunt, and she's like, hey, meet up with me after. I really liked her.
Yeah.
And she goes, I can't bring this in the house. I'll get in trouble. This is when we was illegal, like 13 years ago. So I was like, okay, whatever. I'm trying to be the cool guy. I was like, I'll take it. So I had it in my back pocket, and I guess this much of the wrap was showing, and I got arrested. A girl found a cop. He walked over, arrested me. Dude, I had a dog. I was getting arrested. The damn dog was in the back of the cop car.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you're walking dogs for someone?
Yeah, I was
Can you
walking
imagine,
dogs
dude?
right in front of their house. They didn't see it.
Being the dog walker and then being like, the dog's in the precinct. They're like, where is our dog?
Yeah.
Sorry, the dog walker got arrested for smoking weed.
Yeah.
He's a dog walker. What do you want him to do? What do you think?
And dude, the lady's there. She's like, look, it's hanging out of his back pocket. And the cop's like, what's that in your back pocket?
Cigarella?
Yeah, I showed him. I was like, oh, this? I was like, this girl gave me this. He's like, oh, yeah, right. Come on, put your hands behind your back. I was like, am I getting arrested? And here goes the other thing. We had to wait an hour and a half because he didn't have a what do you call, a yellow... He didn't have the thing to write the tickets on.
Oh, my God.
I'm like, bro, so what are we doing? He's like, I got to wait for somebody to write you a ticket. I'm like, at this point, it's been an hour and a half.
Give me a ticket.
I'm like,
Let me go.
Bro, the dog's like, I wanted to be like, bro, I got to give you a damn ticket. Turn your fucking car on. The dog's in the back hot. Like,
my God.
You know, and either way, wait an hour and a half, got like $110 ticket. And then one time I got a ticket for literally closing my eyes on a park bench and putting my head back.
You told me about this, yeah.
I'm like, bro, I was here for 2 minutes. I'm walking dogs. I'm just beat. He's like, yeah, you can't sleep on a bench. And I get a ticket.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what it is? There are so many people that are doing way worse stuff.
Right.
We haven't talked about this in a while, but you know, don't get me going on the troubles in New York City.
Right. Go to the
The
Bronx.
shit that we see on a day-to-day basis is crazy. You're bothering someone for sitting in the only place where there's grass growing, sitting in nature, as close as you can get to nature
Right.
in Manhattan, and closing your eyes and just like enjoying the breeze, and then coming over and be like, hey, what are you doing?
It was right by the Lincoln Center. And yeah, you know, and it wasn't just New York not being hard back then, because I remember there was a time a guy was in his underwear, probably like 3 months after this incident, and he had a knife and he's dagging at people on the street and they're running away. And I go get a cop and I go, hey man, there's a guy 2 blocks away with a knife trying to stab people. And the cop's like, did he stab anybody?
Dude!
Because, you know, they probably seen him for 7 months.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm like, no, but I was like, old ladies are running from him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, buddy. He's like, it's fine. I'm just like, dude, are you fucking crazy?
Well, I've told this story a couple times about the swords.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I remember the guy was like, we're walking back from the old man hustle in the Lower East Side, and there's a dude in the park. It's like 11 o'clock at night with a full-on samurai sword. And I was like, I don't know. We walked by a cop car. I'm like, should I say something? And I was like, hey, man, there's a guy up there with like swinging a sword around at like 11 p.m. on a Saturday. And they're like, well, did he hit anybody with it? And I was like, I don't know, man. But this is the middle of Manhattan, dude. It's the middle of the Lower East Side. Like, maybe he shouldn't have a samurai sword.
Yeah.
I've also we posted that clip online. The amount of people who were like, let him swing his sword around. I'm like, yeah, okay, dude, you go walk past them and feel that way.
I lived on the Lower East Side once. There was a guy burning a car to pieces and throwing it away in trash cans. I couldn't believe, I didn't even know you can get rid of a car so fast.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had like, it was like fire. Like it was not a welder. It was like torches, like a.
Just torching the car, cutting it up.
It burned right through the metal like butter.
My God.
And it frame everything, dude. Cut it up in little pieces. It was down to an engine block sitting there, and the engine block sat there for like 6 months.
So
on the
funny,
Lower
dude.
East Side.
That's so
on
funny.
Delancey, right across from Old Man Hustle. That area.
So sketchy. That whole area is so sketchy.
Yeah, and that was around 2020, right when the pandemic hit. So it was real sketchy back then.
We had when we were doing 7th Street over in the East Village.
Yeah.
I remember one of those like hot days in the summer where it's like 100 degrees, you know, and they're putting all those warnings out like homeless people, go to the shelter. You're going to get like sick if you're outside, you know, make sure you're drinking water. I walked by this lady and she sprawled out like face down on the sidewalk. Okay. People are just stepping over her, like literally around her, over her. And I don't know if like, I mean, she looked like it was probably...
Yeah.
It didn't look like just like a lady who passed out on her way to work. You know what I mean? She probably had some drugs and maybe some booze. I think there was like a bottle of alcohol like empty next to her. But everyone's just walking around, and I get like a block down the way, and I call 911. And I'm like, hey man, I'm here. I'm just want to report this because there's a lady laying on the sidewalk, like passed out. It's so hot out. It was not like to get her in trouble. It was like, I don't know if she's alive.
Yeah.
Like I literally, she does not moving. Everybody's just walking past her. I just want to let you know there might be a dead body on the street. And they were like, well, can you check her pulse? And I was like, I'm 2 blocks away. I've continued walking.
Yeah,
I am not
I don't have
going
any
back.
gloves on.
I was like, this is the reason that you guys exist.
Right.
I call you, someone calls, and that's like a somewhat emergency. And then you come and you see if they're alive. That's it.
I dated a girl. She'd call on everybody. Ambulances would show up everywhere. She just always did it. She's like, no, because he needs somewhere to go. And we'd have to wait for the ambulance.
Jeez.
The driver started to get to know us. It's when I lived on the Lower East Side.
Really?
That
Yeah.
girl, she's not around no more in comedy. I see the craziest stuff in my neighborhood, dude. It's literally like in my neighborhood, we can have a scavenger hunt, and anything that you say, no matter how crazy it is, if the scavenger hunt lasted 1 week, you would find it.
Yeah, a guy fucking a piece of fruit.
Bro,
you're going to find it.
I seen a girl taking bottled water trying to wash her period out completely naked. God. Bro, blood cruising down the sidewalk.
Jesus
it was a heavy
Christ,
day.
Dude.
Kids are stepping over going, Kool-Aid, for real. Bro. And meanwhile, a dude's just banging out chin-ups. He's like, man, New York's fucked up. And it's like, bro, go do the chin-ups somewhere else. Like, it's like you got to do them the only place that we could walk. So we had to walk under this dude doing chin-ups so we didn't step on period.
Oh, my God, dude.
It's like, what's the world
He's
coming
opening
to?
his legs. He's like, walk on through.
Yeah,
like
dude,
a
he
tunnel.
really was. He's like, go ahead. You ain't stopping nobody. I'm just like, dude. So we had to duck and go underneath. I had to get like a limbo underneath this dude.
Jesus, dude.
Shoelaces all hanging.
Oh, my God, dude. Yeah, it's crazy. By the way, it's crazy, dude. By the way, speaking of, when you walked here, did you see all the cones fucking set up on that road?
Oh, yeah. It made me go the wrong way by mistake. I lost control where I was.
Dude,
what's going on?
It's infuriating me. I know I brought it up. I brought it up last pod.
You can't even park nowhere now.
Dude, Con Ed has been working on this street that's like right next to my street. And the entire block has cones.
Yeah.
And they're not like it's not like work is being done right there. It's like they're reserving parking for like the off chance that a worker needs to park there.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, I've been moving cones. I'm like, fuck this,
you.
man. You can't just reserve the whole street.
Right.
One lady, I talked about this last time. I got into it with a lady because she was like, you can't park there. And I was like, why? There is nobody else parking here. You're not doing work here. There's no signs. You just willy-nilly put a Con Ed cone out. I called the city.
I don't blame you.
Like an asshole, dude.
I'm ready to call the city on this guy that lives next to us, and I don't even have a car anymore. It's just because it pisses me off so much. We have spaces across the street from our building for enough cars for the people with cars in the building.
Yeah.
So it's perfect for everybody, right?
Right.
What's one guy do? Always takes up 2 spots.
So
He's like, I
infuriating.
just don't want nobody by my car. It's new. It's like, buddy, your car is not new. Actually, yours it's new to you, but your car is about 15 years old. I get mad because people are like, bro, come on, man. Can you just please pull up your car? He parks right in the middle of 2 spots.
That's infuriating.
I'm like, why isn't that a ticket? The dude never gets
that
a
would also
ticket.
lead. I wouldn't do that because that's going to lead to people targeting your car.
Somebody's going to have to. Oh, it's been like
it's
a
gonna
year
get
now.
keyed.
I don't
It's
know.
going to get slammed with a door. Oops.
He sits outside all day long and smokes cigarettes. He's retired, and he just looks at his car all day long. He sits under the tree. He'll wipe it off, takes up 2 spots, and people will be like, bro, can you pull up? You got like 9 feet ahead of you. And he's like, oh, no, maybe you can go in front. No car is going to fit in a 9-foot spot.
That's
like,
crazy.
but if I get a car, I'm fucking his shit up. Like, when I get a car, dude, I'm for sure slicing those tires.
Yeah, but it's been good. Like, parking here has been fine the entire time I've lived here. 2 years I've lived here. It's been fine. Now this fucking Con Ed truck has been like 2 months. They're sitting there, dude. And they just are taking up so many spots. And then we got to move our cars for street sweeping twice a week.
How many tickets are they getting? Oh, you're on twice a week over here. Does the Con Ed
They're not
get
getting any
tickets?
tickets, dude.
Oh, wow.
Because
See, the
they're
city
like
needs to
here
give-
for work, dude. But I called. I go, listen, I understand that people got to work and they're doing a job. But you can't just reserve parking on the entire street.
Right.
We're talking 30 spots. They're just like reserving parking. And like one corner they're doing work. On the opposite corner, they got cones set up. Like, so no one can park. I'm like, and then if you try to move the cone, they'll be like, you're going to get towed. I go, who? By who? You're going to call and have my car towed? Why?
You know, the only people that are worse than them are the Greyhound bus drivers, dude. You know, you can't even talk to those guys.
Dude, those guys are one bad trip from putting a gun in their mouth.
They
You know
really
what I mean?
are. I'm asking this guy, I go, excuse me, is this the one to New York? He's like, ask an agent. There is no agents. It's 3 a.m. in Pittsburgh. I'm like, there is no agents. He's like, look at the screen. I'm like, bro, the screen says ask an agent. There's no agents. I was like, you're driving the bus, right?
Yeah, do you know where you're going?
I was like, can you just please tell me if this is the bus to New York? He goes, listen for the announcement. And then here comes this thing goes. I go, buddy. He goes, this is the bus to New York.
Why was it that hard?
What the fuck is so hard
Why
about
was
this,
it that
bro?
difficult, dude? People are fucking nightmares.
They're either one step away from getting a gun in their mouth, though. It might be somebody else going, dude, what the fuck? Like,
Also, you can't be an asshole and drive a Greyhound because the amount of people who are ready to snap on you.
yeah,
Listen.
without a doubt.
People who are getting on Greyhounds
Bring guns.
are not in the best points of life. Okay?
I have a rule. Anybody that's on a Greyhound, because Greyhound tickets aren't cheap anymore. It's the same
They're
as a
not.
flight. So
Really?
yeah, like $275 to take a Greyhound to Ohio round trip was going to be like $275.
I was assuming it was going to be $20 one
Right?
way.
No, it's not cheap anymore.
Wow.
And that's round trip, but a flight round trip I got for $190 to Ohio.
You got to fly.
So the people that are having to make that choice, it's because they're bringing their registered to carry. Like,
Yeah.
bro, the amount of guns on Greyhounds is not even funny.
Nuts,
like,
dude.
you know, people smoking cigarettes in the back. It's like, what are we doing? I hate to cut it short, but dude,
Yeah,
I
you
do
gotta
gotta
go,
run.
right?
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
go. We're almost at an hour anyway,
We
but
hit
you
the
got
hour
spots,
for
right?
'em.
You gotta
I
run.
got a party I gotta go to. I gotta go home and change.
All right, dude. Let's wrap it up. Tell the people where they can find you. We'll be back
right
next week.
here, Troublemakers, Andros Salami Podcast. You guys, everything Dominic Leonelli, and maybe getting in a street fight with some open mic comics.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week, dude. And at Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. At Troublemakers on all those sites. We're posting clips, 2, 3, 4 every episode. New episodes out every Wednesday. We'll see you next week, baby. Good night.